Today on 321 Liftoff, we'll talk with the Space Coast premier events producer, Mitch Varnes. You'll learn all about the biggest endurance running and triathlon events here on the Space Coast and all of Florida's biggest and richest pro surfing contests in history. Mitch has produced more than 200 sporting events here on the Space Coast, and you'll hear all about it right here. I even understand that we're going to hear a major announcement about a return of an event that we all love. It's all coming right up, right here on 321 Liftoff.
3, 2, 1, liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome to 321 Liftoff. I'm Wayne Belden, the president of Belden Communications, the publisher of the Space Coast Fun Guide and SpaceCoastFunGuide.com. We'll be bringing you 321 Liftoff each week, talking about tourism on Florida's fabulous Space Coast. With me is the host of 321 Liftoff, Bonnie King, former Deputy Director of the Space Coast Office of Tourism, as well as the past President of the Florida Film Commission. Bonnie, are we ready to blast off on 321 Liftoff?
Yes.
Hey, all right. Hey.
Yeah, we are. Hey, today we're at the Beachside Hotel and Suites right here in Cocoa Beach on Florida Space Coast, and we are enjoying not only a beautiful day, but the sound of children's laughter as they're going down the lazy river right here. And some kids are actually building sandcastles in the sand and doing acrobatics in the sand, I noticed. And then watching their parents who are truly enjoying seeing the world from their child's point of view. And if you have kids, you truly know what I mean. We love to see our kids having fun. It's all good. And today our fun is going to be our tourism conversation with Mitch Varnes, an events producer for many of the biggest endurance races and triathlons events here on the Space Coast. And he just got back from a 2-week family vacation in Hawaii, so he is very relaxed.
Nice.
And he's ready to share. 321 Liftoff is brought to you in part by the Beachside Hotel and Suites right here on Cocoa Beach. And Michelle Martindale is with us today. And they offer a great overnight vacation destination when you plan your visit here to the Space Coast. And by Longboard's Restaurant and Tiki Bar located at the Hilton Oceanfront on Cocoa Beach, offering a fabulous ambiance with great food and drink. And of course, by the SpaceCoastFunGuide.com, where you will learn what there is to see and do on Florida Space Coast. And joining me is John Belden, Vice President of Belden Communications, and he too is just back from his vacation.
Oh man, let me tell you, I'm back from vacation, but the reason why I loved doing the podcast here at Beachside Hotel and Suites is because it's like vacation never ends. This is the perfect spot. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm still on vacation.
Okay. Okay.
Mitch also actually has a background working for Public Affairs Office at NASA, which is actually really cool. Working with Astronaut, so I'm sure he's got some really great stories. We're going to hear a little about that. Joining us in our conversation is our producer, Mr. Phil Bird. How you doing there, Phil?
Hey, everybody. What's going on?
And my father, the president of Belden Communications, Wayne Belden. How you doing there, Wayne?
I'm just back from vacation too, so I'm refreshed, I'm ready. And just like you said, I feel like I'm on vacation again. I'm sitting out here by this beautiful pool. What do they call that?
The
Lazy River.
The Lazy River, yeah. And behind me is the blender from the Duck Dive
Yes.
Bar,
That's
so I'm
right.
excited about that.
We're going to hear that
Yeah.
occasionally.
Can't wait. Bring him over.
Yeah,
The newest member of the show.
yeah.
That's right, the blender.
Yeah. And we're all looking.
It does.
We're all looking forward to talking with Mitch about his themes, his races, and the special announcement that he's about to make. We can't wait to hear about that, the Florida Marathon here in Cocoa Beach. And most exciting, his role as a director of surfing for the 2022 Special Olympics, which will be held here in Orlando. So we got a lot to talk about that's exciting.
We have a lot to talk to. He is a man with many talents, many stories, and a really fun and interesting guy. So let's welcome Mitch Varnes. Mitch, we're so glad you're here.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thanks, everybody. Real pleasure to be here. And hey, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, well, we want to hear all about it. But first off, let's get about you, because you've had such a fascinating history. I know I've known you a long time. I know a lot about it, but let's share that with people about how did you get into this?
It was kind of like, it was an evolutionary type thing. I was born and raised here. I'm a 7th generation Floridian. I was actually born on the Space Coast.
You're a rare breed.
So Cocoa Beach is on your birth certificate.
Cocoa Beach
Yeah.
is on my birth certificate.
Love it.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. I was born at Patrick Air Force Base, and that's how it reads. But went to Satellite High School. My dad was in the military, obviously, born at Patrick. Ended up graduating from BCC, now Eastern Florida, and University of Central Florida. And at UCF, I was a journalism business major, and just always had an interest in events. I surfed a lot through my teens and 20s, and contests, and I started the actually the surf club at University of Central Florida, which had like 6 people when I started it, and now it has over 200.
Wow.
But that's how I kind of got into events. I worked for NASA for 10 years and public affairs.
Is it true when you're born in Cocoa Beach that you get a free surfboard at the hospital?
I don't know. I think we should take that up with Health First.
I'm telling you, that'd be a great marketing play.
Yeah.
Good idea.
It sure would.
Good idea. Good idea. So go ahead. So you work with NASA.
Yeah, I worked with NASA for 10 years. I was in public affairs, did a lot of really fun, cool, exciting things.
What years were that?
83 to 94.
Right.
So I came in at the 7th space shuttle launch. I think the 6th was Sally Ride.
Right.
And I came
Nice.
in right after that one, and I was there, I don't know, maybe 50 launches. something
Wow.
Like that.
Yep.
And just did some really cool things. I was in public affairs at the height of it. I got to travel a lot with astronauts.
Got some stories, I bet.
I got some good stories. Yeah. All good stuff.
Yeah.
I was able to attend the Super Bowl with astronauts.
Get out of here.
I did the 20th anniversary.
That'd be some good stories.
I mean, seriously, the thing about that, you go to
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, it's exciting, but with astronauts.
Ah, cool.
Not just,
Wow.
not just astronauts, but I had like Pete
astronauts.
Conrad, who was a moonwalker.
Wow.
Dick Gordon, one of the original 7. Gordon Cooper, and then the whole STS-27 crew, which was the second mission after Challenger.
So the event was literally out of this world. You like that pun? All right.
Yuck, yuck, yuck,
I
yuck,
knew
yuck,
that was
yuck.
coming.
I'm here all day.
I knew that was
Keep it
coming.
rolling. This is
You know,
pre-drink, by the way.
I remember way back when I used to work with the Office of Tourism, and I would talk to you and get stuff from you with the name Mitch Varnes. I never met you, but I would get all this stuff. And then when I actually met you later, I went, oh, you're the Mitch Varnes that I always talk to about launches and things of that nature. Never putting 2 and 2 together, but it was great.
When I was not a bureaucrat.
That okay.
Oh. All right. There you go.
All right.
So I did that for 10 years and did some really fun stuff. I was also the voice of NASA for several countdowns.
Really?
Just like we heard Jack King at the beginning of this.
Right.
So I did that kind of stuff and traveled to California for a lot of shuttle recovery missions. Flew back with the space shuttle on the 747. It was an exciting time, I'll say that.
I mean,
was.
you must have had
Yeah.
a fun life, it sounds like.
Man,
Yeah,
what
that
a
was-
fun job.
That was a really cool time to be part
I
of the
mean, there
space
has to
program.
be one story that maybe sticks out in your mind, like being with astronauts or doing something that was crazy or that turned out whatever. It must be a great story that you
Yeah, I
can share.
mean, lots of good ones, Bonnie, obviously.
bet.
But I think the highlight for me for my whole time being there is I got to travel with the Apollo 11 crew. I spent a week with them on a private jet, and it was the FAA administrators Gulfstream 3. Still remember
Nice.
it well.
Right.
And
I
we
bet.
did like a 20th anniversary tour that went from the White House to Kennedy Space Center to Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, out to the JPL in Pasadena,
Wow.
the Johnson Space Center. And I was a kid. I was like 28 years old.
Wow.
And I was their horse holder. I just made sure they got from point A to point B and carried luggage. I did whatever it took.
A roadie, so to speak.
I was like a roadie, pretty
Nice.
much. But we were on a private plane. I had my boss from DC was with me. I got along great, and he asked me to accompany him on the trip. And pretty cool. It was a great experience. And I think probably the highlight for me was Michael Collins, who recently passed away. Nice guy, super
Really
nice
was.
guy. I got to spend several evenings chatting with him. But I think a highlight for me was, and again, I'm a kid, so I'm sitting out in the lobby having a beer or something, because we had like our own private floor. That's how they did it for us.
Oh,
People
nice.
couldn't
Oh,
come
that's
in.
nice.
And so, Neil Armstrong walks out and says, "Hey, you want to have a drink with me?"
Yes.
Okay. So to me, that was like something I'll never forget.
Of
Yeah,
course.
absolutely.
A drink with an
I can
astronaut.
imagine.
Right.
So here you are doing special events and everything for NASA, and that kind of led up to you forming a company on your own and involving sporting events. So talk about that evolution of what you did.
Yeah, that's how it all began for me. When I was with NASA, I did events. That's what I did, and which was good. I learned how to do events very well from a professional standpoint. The bad news is I had no budget. 'Cause we just did whatever the heck we wanted to do
Right.
because we were the
Story
government.
we hear
right?
all the time.
Yes.
Story we hear
What
all
do
the
they say?
time.
A taste of wine on a budget of beer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I did events there, and my first real surfing contest that I put on, because that was my passion, even all through NASA and even today. I did the very first fundraiser for the Astronaut Memorial Foundation. We did a surfing contest,
Right.
and this was like within 2 or 3 weeks after Challenger, I think. And what's funny is Sean Slater won it, and Kelly Slater got second.
Wow.
And I remember I raised $2,400, and Alan Hellman, he was the man. Is that right? He was the head of the AMF.
I believe you're right.
He was the architect from Winter Park who started the
Yeah.
Astronaut Memorial Foundation.
Right.
But I gave him his very first check for $2,400.
Wow.
So
Wow.
That was a cool thing to do. And then,
Right.
as I kind of just evolved and wanted to no longer work for the government, I mean, I did everything cool that I could have ever done, I figured. And went up and started my own company, pretty much is how it went. And surfing was always, something I wanted to start with. And our old friend Rob Varley was very supportive of me from the beginning, and he helped me get seed money and sponsors. And again, Ron Johns has been with me forever. They support everything I do, and
Yep.
they helped get that off the ground too.
And just for those that don't know, Rob Varley, of course, was the director of the Space Coast Office of Tourism, who had great vision for what we could do. And being surfing is like one of the natural things that we promote here on the Space Coast. It was a natural fit, and he was very smart to get you involved in that.
Thanks.
And I think we've been working with you ever since.
Pretty much, yeah.
Ever since. So tell us about some of those events that you did. I mean, you've done some cool stuff. I know some of it we can't do anymore for a while, but
Yeah.
like the music marathon that you did that went over a bridge and a guy was playing the piano and
What?
Well, we still do that. That's actually coming up on February 13th.
All right.
It's called the Florida Marathon Weekend, Publix Florida Marathon Weekend. And it was originally called the Melbourne Music Marathon.
Right.
Which was great. But every year, and we've been doing this for 14 years. I changed the name about 5 years ago. I would have people enter thinking they were running the Melbourne, Australia Marathon.
Oh, right. Yeah, gotcha.
Right. I'd
Yeah.
have to refund like 10 entry fees. Dealing with these people, I'm like, this is just nuts. Even though I have maps on the course in Melbourne, Florida, on the Space Coast. And
Yeah,
Right,
there's some
right.
people it doesn't matter.
Where are we, mate?
But that's been going great. It's been a national championship, Masters half marathon. It's a Boston qualifying certified race. And you're right, we put a piano player, Bruce Marion's his name, Marion Music in Melbourne.
Right.
But we put Bruce on top of the O'Galley Causeway every year, and he's out there with a baby grand piano at 7 in the morning.
That
That's
is
so
cool.
Isn't
Wow.
that neat?
I've never. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, that's
Yep, yep.
awesome.
It's very cool. So, and then give us some of the more of the things that you were doing.
Well, the surf contest, if I can just reflect on that for 1 second.
Sure.
The Sebastian and the Pro we started, it still remains the biggest pro contest ever held in Florida.
And if I am correct, that was the first time that you were able to get money the same for men and women.
Yeah,
and that was a big deal.
I was the first person to have equal
Yeah.
prize money for men and women.
Yep.
That was
And
great.
when I proposed it, at the time, Association of Surfing Professionals, are now called the World Surf League, they fought me. I'll say it. They're like, you don't want to do that. And I'm like, yeah, I really do want to do that.
That's a big step.
So we started that, and guess what? Everybody's doing it now.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Everybody.
It's about
See?
time.
You
know,
paved
it's
the way.
about
Good
time.
job.
It's about time.
But
you
as we
know?
sit here with the Olympics happening right now, I'm pretty happy that we have John Florence and Kaloe Andino, who are two Americans surfing on the Olympic team, the two males. They both surfed in our event at Sebastian Inlet Pro.
Wonderful.
And John has gone on to be a two-time world champion. He's still probably the best surfer in the world right now.
Really?
And speaking of best surfers, that contest was the last pro contest Kelly Slater ever surfed on the East Coast.
Right.
And that was 2005, the first year we did it.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
So he's not surfing anymore, though, right? The competition was?
Oh, yeah, he still
Oh,
is.
yes.
You really?
Yes.
He was actually he's the alternate for the Olympic team.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
He
that.
qualified at age 48 for that.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
He's
Still
beat-
I
going.
can't believe him as a 48-year-old.
I know.
Well,
We
now he's
still think of
49. he qualified at
We
48.
still
my
think of
God.
him as, little
Yeah.
Kelly.
But he's still beating teenagers. I mean, that guy.
But
Yeah.
you got to think I mean, I'm not a surfer, but I would think that the amount of physical toll that your body takes doing that on that water for that long, I mean, kudos to him at 49, still cutting it up.
But
good
think
shape.
about it when you're doing your passion.
Yeah,
you know,
that's-
it doesn't eat your body up, man. It just.
Well, you think about
fulfills your
surfing,
spirit, you know?
surfing's not really a contact sport unless you hit the reef. He's had back problems and he's had knee problems, but
Right.
you're not getting pummeled like football players.
Good point.
Right.
And it's his passion, so it
Exactly.
keeps you young.
And one of the things that does happen whenever you do have an event, too, you have a host hotel that takes care of you, which is the Beachside Hotel and Suites. And Michelle Martindale is here with us today. And she's going to tell us a little bit what's happening here. We're glad to be here. Whenever we don't have
Love
a
it.
location to go to, we love to come back here. Because just like John and Wayne said, this is like being on vacation.
This is great.
It is.
You
Well,
can't beat this.
Nope.
No,
Yeah.
we love having you here. I mean, we support this podcast, and
We appreciate
We think Beachside Hotel and Suites is just a really beautiful gem in the heart of Cocoa Beach. And so, what's going on here? As you can see, families are already arriving for the weekend.
Enjoying
Yes.
You
themselves.
got it. tonight we're going to have, it's new, on Friday nights in Duck Dive, we're doing karaoke, family karaoke.
Oh, wow.
Family
karaoke. So if you can see some of the video that's taken of the families, that's pretty good.
I've been known to do some karaoke, just so you know.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh,
get
yes.
out here,
All
represent.
right.
What's your
And
style?
also today
Huh?
is
What's your style?
I do a little. I'll do Garth Brooks,
Okay.
and then I'll mix up with maybe some Sir Mix-a-Lot. Like I really keep people off
She
beat there.
said family, John.
Well, it's still fun.
Yes.
the family will be laughing.
Oh, wow.
And,
wow.
and
Look what we've got going on here.
It's treat time.
Well, this
Look
is one
what
of our
we've got
favorites
going
here
on
at
here.
Beachside, which is a nice little rum runner.
Thank you.
Oh, Rum Runner.
Rum runner, so rum
Well,
punch.
that's
I call it
nice.
rum runner. It's a rum punch, but it's all the same. And also tonight is, we got a full moon, and Marquette with the American
Oh,
Space
yes.
Museum is going to be here. We're doing a full moon gaze,
Oh.
watching it, and from there they're going to come here and look at the moon in the grassy area with the telescopes. That's for tonight.
Very nice.
And tomorrow,
Oh my gosh.
out here, we're having Jersey Mike. It's a one person show that does keeps everybody really well entertained from 1 to 4. Even the kids get up and dance, and sometimes the parents. And she's on vacation, but in the future, you need to watch out. Is at 1:30 in the afternoon on Saturdays we have our mermaid. Beachside has her own mermaid.
your own
mermaid.
I love it.
Yes, we roll her out with a bubble machine and put her in the pool. and
Nice.
Everybody is.
Does she have a
having
certain
fun.
name?
Beachside Mermaid.
Beachside Mermaid.
Of course.
Love it. Love
Come
it.
to the Beachside Hotel and Suites. You got to try this Rum Runner. And what is it? Just what it's called? Rum Runner? Is it? Wasn't
It's
the
actually
punch?
a rum punch.
Rum punch.
Rum punch.
A rum punch.
Let me tell you.
I'm old school, so I call it run runner.
That's okay. What works. So absolutely delicious.
Absolutely.
Everybody
Hits-
enjoying it. Good.
Hits the spot.
Show
so
the camera, John.
Huh?
Hold it up to the
Is,
camera.
is it on this one right here?
Yep.
Yes.
There you go.
Everybody
Absolutely
hold it up.
delicious.
We gotta
Come,
get
I
this
got
over.
mine.
come tell them John at 3, 2, 1
Cheers,
liftoff told you.
cheers,
cheers.
guys.
Love
Thank
it.
you so much.
Thank
Great way to
you.
start the Friday. That's for sure.
And we end our Saturday with a dive-in movie.
Oh, there you go.
At dusk out here in the grassy area. And last week we did Shrek 3, so I think it was
It's a good
still,
movie.
Yeah, it was still kind of an adult movie, too.
Thank you so much.
So it was fun.
I
and,
like Shrek.
And also, our guests that come and stay with us, if they don't get a resort pass, which they can do if they just want to use the pool, they're able to do beach cruisers, and they can ride the bikes all around Cocoa Beach.
Nice.
That's the
And,
thing I love
yeah.
about Beachside Hotel and Suites. You guys provide everything.
Yeah.
well,
Everything's
why
right
not?
here.
Beach
Why-
cruisers, boogie boards,
Surfboards.
the surfboards, the carts. I mean, anything. If you're a family like me, this is where you come because you got awesome drinks, you got movie night, you got a lazy river. I mean, you could see Shrek on there. Some people say I look like Shrek, you know? They go, Donkey!
Believe it, I have to share with you our security guy that comes in on the weekends, and he's making sure everyone's got their bands on to be in the pool. Is Shrek?
Oh, yeah?
it's-
Yeah,
oh.
he's a Shrek
Really?
at Universal. Yes, he is.
Oh, that's
He
awesome.
doesn't come to work dressed that way. We keep asking, but he
Yeah,
won't.
come on, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
come on. But,
That's cool.
but
Well, you-
overall, we're just a big family location here, and we want everybody to have fun and make memories, and it's a joy.
Give us your website so they can go look at all those great pictures.
Look at our great pictures. You need to go www.beachsidehotelcocobeach.com, and actually we're rolling out a new website, so it'll be interesting. And to make reservations, are real simple: 321-783-2221.
Awesome.
I love
And they'll talk to you, right?
Oh,
They can.
We'll
They
arrange it.
Just ask for Michelle.
Just ask for
Martindale.
Michelle,
Yeah, just ask for Michelle.
thank you
But
so
no, you
very
know-
much. We actually have a reservation line, or you can even talk to the reception. And if you want to talk to me, you can. You can.
Yeah, you can. You can. Well, we appreciate it. And also just want to give a shout out to you because I know you're very involved with community affairs that we have here.
Right.
A lot of the events that go on here in the Cocoa Beach area, you're a host hotel for that. And so we just appreciate the time that you give to all of the stuff that we do here on the Space Coast.
Thank you. We're home. This is
I
home.
know.
You know,
I
you,
know.
you invest into your home with your time or with your money. And sometimes I get to do both.
Well, let's
great.
talk now about a special announcement that we know that Mitch is going to make, and it hasn't been announced yet.
Not yet.
I know that you have a press release ready to go out, but let's hear it. What's
Breaking news.
Yeah, our Cocoa Beach
Nice.
Half Marathon we've been doing for 7 years now. That's the Jeannie bottle medals that we have here.
Look at these. These things are awesome.
Have an I Dream of Jeannie theme to it.
Love them.
The race was reduced to a 10K the past 2 years, including this year because of COVID, but we're going back to a half marathon next year. I Dream of Jeannie theme. This February 13th, our Publix Florida Marathon weekend, which takes place in downtown Melbourne, goes across both causeways, typically attracts 2,500 to 3,000 runners. I'm super excited to announce that Barbara Eaton's going to come.
Get out of here.
Oh, wow. You got to be
Nice.
kidding.
Really?
She will be there, and she's going to pass out awards.
Wow.
She's going to judge our Jeannie lookalike contest we're doing.
Nice.
So
This
it's
is
a
big.
it's a shift from Cocoa Beach, but it fit into her schedule, and we're bringing her
Wonderful.
in, and it's going to be a huge deal.
I think
We're
it's
excited.
fantastic.
That's
Wonderful.
great.
Absolutely, and you know what? That's fine because so Melbourne. Listen, it's all about collaboration here in the Space Coast, right? So I
Exactly.
think that's fantastic, and the genie herself.
We could take out some Cocoa Beach, billboards along the way. So
Ooh,
they
I
know.
think you can do
There you
that.
go.
I think that's a great
close.
announcement. The last time
That
she
is
was
great.
here, I believe, was 2015.
Yep.
She was about 84 years old and looked fantastic. I
Yeah.
think Phil's going to pull up some pictures and kind of show what she looks like. She looked amazing and wonderful to deal with. So that was back in 2015. So I'm excited about having her back here again. That's going to be wonderful.
She'll be 90 years old in February.
Wow.
And it's actually part of a tour she's doing. She's doing a 4-stop theater tour called An Evening with Barbara Eaton.
She did that back in 2015 as well.
It'll be very similar to that.
And that
yes.
was, and if you have the opportunity to hear this woman tell the behind the scenes stories about her on I Dream of Jeannie and some of the things that she's gone through, she has some amazing stories. And, and I can share one. I want to share one because I just was fascinated by it. And I think you know what I'm talking about, Mitch, when she was saying that when they were working, and what's the guy's name that was, I can't remember his name, the guy that played.
Larry.
Yeah, Larry Hagman. Major, yes. So Larry Hagman, whenever it wasn't his time to be on screen or whatever, that he would disappear either in his room or they had a tent, whatever. But he was going there and he was smoking that was the little weeds that we call it, and then he would come back out. And she said you never knew what was going to come out of his mouth. And the story she has to tell about that was so funny, so funny.
Yeah.
She's very candid.
She's very
Is
candid,
she?
and that was back that was 1965, 66.
Yeah.
So you
It was
can
called
imagine.
the Space Coast for a reason.
Yeah, well, it's pretty
Yeah.
darn cool. Pretty
She's still in
cool.
space.
But super excited. I've been following her ever since, and one of her stops is in Vero Beach. She's going to be there on February 12th, the night before our race.
Right.
So
And
when
that's doing the night with Barbara Eaton.
yeah, that's
right.
an evening with Barbara Eaton. And when I saw
Wonderful.
that, I contacted her management, and what was interesting is right away they said she had a great time in 2015 in Cocoa Beach. She remembered right off the bat. Yeah, she'll come back.
She's
So
been waiting for you to call, Mitch.
It was pretty cool. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that she right off the cuff just I had a good time there. So she's
Good.
coming back.
That's gotta make you feel good.
Wonderful.
Boy, it'd be
So-
great if we could get her on a podcast.
It would be wonderful if we could do that, like right before you have your race or whatever. That way we could promote not only her night
Yeah.
at Vero Beach, but
And I
here.
have been in
The
touch
race.
with their management because our tourism office, of course, Peter Kranis and company is super excited as well.
Right.
They're going to blow this up because
Great.
at age 90, who knows when she's going to come back here.
Right, exactly.
So it's going to be a whole Jeannie return to the Space Coast thing. And one of the first things Peter asked was, will she do interviews? I've already been in touch with her management, and they said, yes, she'll do interviews.
Great.
Wonderful.
So we'll be able to do it.
Well, it looks
We
like
need
fun.
to do a podcast.
Yes, we'd love to. We'd love to have her on. We'll make it a spectacular event for sure.
Absolutely. And I want to talk to you about, I know that we showed the I Dream of Jeannie bottle that you give out for all the runners that were there. This year, show us what you have for this year.
Yeah, thanks, Bonnie. This is the medal for this year. These things are pretty heavy. You don't want them hitting in your head.
Right.
In fact, one of my staff members, she had one hanging from a rearview mirror, and she got T-boned and her car rolled over, and this thing hit her in the head and knocked her out.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
So don't hang it on
Yeah.
your
Don't
mirror.
hang on your rearview mirror.
Keep it sweet.
Don't tell Geico that.
Yeah, right. What's her name?
But over the course of the 5-year run of I Dream of Jeannie, there were 7 Jeannie bottles. And so each year we've done like a different theme. Like this was the
Love it.
very first year because the show was in black and white. So it's not an attractive color, but just brown. So every year we did a different theme, and we did it like if you run all 7 years, either virtually, which is when you do the race at home, they became a big deal during the pandemic, or in real life, you actually qualified for the Major Nelson
Look at that.
Saturn V rocket
Look at
medal.
that.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, and
Yep.
so
Neat.
I don't know. We have maybe 400 people that have qualified for the Major Nelson at this point, and
Wonderful.
this race typically gets anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 people, just depending on the year.
Yep.
And I
That's
always thought
awesome.
it was interesting because people dress up like I Dream of Jeannie and run. Even men have dressed like that, or they'll dress. It's funny.
We have
I mean,
we have male genies.
Wait, the
yes,
men dress up as the genie?
Yes, it's
Wow.
very funny.
In the two-piece?
It's very funny.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
for one of the races, before the pandemic, Beachside stepped out and did water out front.
That's right, yes.
And we had a little portal light right there, but we had staff out, and it was just fun. We had probably 5 years old, 4-year-old. He was just he just couldn't believe it and running.
That's
so probably we'll want to do it again. Help in February when you're
Well,
doing it.
thank you. That was great,
great.
Michelle.
So,
I
we
remember
like
it well.
that.
And,
Yeah, it's the world's getting back to normal now, so we can do a little more support. For stuff
Great
like
memories. We love it.
yeah.
Absolutely. So let's talk too about the 2022 Special Olympics that's going to be held in Orlando, and I hear that you are the director of surfing for that.
Yeah.
What an honor that is.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you. In fact, talking surfing management today, I should have been in Tokyo. I was on the surfing management team for the Olympics.
Wow.
And then maybe 6 weeks ago, they banned anybody who was not a Japanese citizen from going. So huge disappointment.
I would
I was
bet.
working with them for 2 years. Went through all the hoops you have to jump through and
Wow.
training online and big disappointment. But I'm even more disappointed for the family members of these athletes because they can't be there either.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't think about that. You're right.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different type Olympics, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, first time surfing's ever been in it. And Special Olympics, I'm really, really excited. They're having their World Game Olympics at Disney World in Orlando. Next year, I think the dates are June 6 to 10, something like that.
Yep.
And it's going to have surfing in it for the very first time. And I was asked to direct that, which I'm really, really happy about. And I'm able to put together a good team. We're going to be doing surfing at Typhoon Lagoon. It's I'm disappointed to say this, but I recommended Typhoon Lagoon over Cocoa Beach because everything's on site.
We'll edit that out.
I know. Disney's got the
Well.
whole thing. And I was,
26.
I was worried about the waves could be flat over here. It's the summertime. June's a slow month.
Right.
So we're doing it all at Typhoon Lagoon. They're going to have about 30 kids that have qualified to surf in it. And I've got a really good team underneath me. They've been a pleasure to work with. And Michelle mentioned Jersey Mike, or John did, I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
But Jersey Mike's is actually the title sponsor of it.
Oh, wow.
And it's a great story that I won't really get into on the air, but they have stepped up in a huge sponsorship by Jersey Mike's.
Awesome.
And
Great cause, too.
yeah, that's what he wanted to get behind. And kind of the tail end of the story is the president of Jersey Mike's. It's a huge commitment, I'll tell you that. And they asked him, why were you doing this? And he goes, when I was in high school, I volunteered at a Special Olympics event. And this guy's now in his 60s. That's his only connection. So pretty nice. But we're going to have the surfing. There's going to be 5,500 athletes coming in for this.
Wow.
25,000 family members. And they brought in one of the guys on the staff. I'm just an event director, but one of the staff guys actually has done the opening and closing ceremonies for the Olympics, and they're going to be doing
That's
that
awesome.
at Exploria Stadium in Orlando.
Wow.
I mean,
Yep. And to prepare for the Olympics, we are really pleased to be hosting the surfing for the Special Olympics this August. So
August
we have
28th.
August 28th. We have a full house of
Awesome.
Olympians,
Wonderful.
potential Olympians
Wow.
and surfers. So we're really we have them every year. So
mean,
it's always
Yeah.
just makes me feel really proud to have them here.
And if I could just add, Ron Johns is the title sponsor of Surfing Special Olympics.
Right.
They have been for many years for the Florida State Championships.
Right.
And they stepped up and they're the reason it's happening at Typhoon Lagoon.
Oh, wonderful.
Well-
That's great.
Well,
Well, speaking of the Olympics, I think it's time that we play Space Coast Trivia.
Oh, all right.
boy, here we go.
All right, you all been studying?
No fair. I've had one of these rum runners.
Yeah.
I can't think of nothing.
I think they made mine extra strong.
This is intentional. So, since the Olympics are starting, I think today, I have Olympic trivia
Oh, boy.
we're out that
So these are our
well.
questions
Not for me.
about the Olympics.
This will be a fun one.
And so, the way I have the teams here, very special. This is everybody versus John.
What the heck?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, better get another one of these
John-
rum punch
okay.
runners.
Because the last time we played, John was a little bit too cocky, so I think it's time we knock him down a little bit.
Yeah, I think
Jeez
you're right.
Louise. Let's see whose side you're on there, Phil.
All right,
Hey,
guys.
But in John's John, you do very well. So I
Well,
just want to say you do very
Thank
well.
you. Somebody give me some love.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Bonnie. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, let's hear what you got.
Knocking
my
a guy
dear.
for doing good, huh?
Yeah.
All right,
Get
guys.
ready for this.
Okay.
Hey,
Now we have to say our name first, right?
Yes. So if you have the answer, just say your name. Don't say the answer until I acknowledge you, okay?
Okay.
All right, folks. Here we go. Let me get the dinger up here. First question. In which country did the Olympics originate?
Mitch,
Mitch, what is the answer?
Greece.
That is
Yes.
correct.
Good job there, Mitch.
Good, Mitch. I was going to say that.
I mean, you worked for them, but that's cool.
Yeah, you should do good at this. You should do good at this. This is great. You're on our team, so yeah. Hit away. Hit away.
It's us against John. That's
Mitch,
right.
can I
away.
interest you in a genie bottle
Yeah.
to join my team?
How can I
All
brag?
right.
All right.
Question number 2.
Second question. How often are the Olympics held?
Wayne,
Wayne?
Oh, shoot.
every 4 years.
That is correct. Come on,
Yes,
John.
I was, again, they say that the drinks cloud your judgment a little
man.
bit, so I was a couple
and you
seconds.
finished.
That's good,
You
Wayne.
finished.
I'm the only one that did. I think
Hey,
everybody's else is
I
sipping
feel
over
good
there.
because I knew both those answers, so I feel really good. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Question number 3. Which is not a new sport being introduced in this year's Olympic Games? Is it skateboarding, surfing, sport climbing, karate, or skydiving?
John,
John.
skydiving.
John got that right.
Yeah, all right. I'm on the board, baby.
All right, so it is 2-1. John,
All right.
you can still catch up.
Coming
here.
back, man. I'm coming back.
All right, question number 4. Michael Phelps. Everybody knows who Michael Phelps is.
Yes.
He's won many, many gold medals, but what sport?
Wayne, swimming.
Wayne, swimming, that is.
Boy, you did good.
Correct.
Yes.
All right.
We
So
knew
this
that.
is worth, the last one is worth 2 points here. So,
Okay.
Ooh.
Right.
all right, John,
2
you better
points,
get
2
this
points,
one.
2 points, 2 points.
All right.
2 points.
Write it on a napkin for me real quick.
Okay, approximately how many countries compete in the Olympics? Is it 400, 200, 100, or 50?
John,
John.
200.
That is correct.
Oh, John,
Hey,
good.
so it's a tie.
My goodness, look what we got now.
Oh, watch out.
Pizza,
We got to do more
We
podcasts
got to
here.
do more podcasts. We got an awesome
Pepperoni
pizza.
pizza.
We'll call
Thank
this
you,
John's Championship Pizza here at the Beachside Hotel and Suites. Pepperoni. We'll get into that in just a moment. Looks fantastic. Thank you.
Amazing.
What's everybody's favorite Olympic sport? That was a tie, guys. You guys tied with John.
John's
Great.
getting ready to beat
Okay,
4 people at
John.
one time.
Are we doing another question then?
Yeah, it's a tiebreaker. It's
It's a
4-4.
tiebreaker.
It's
All
tied
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh. Okay.
Last question here. Okay. In what sport, how many meters did Usain Bolt win his gold medals in the most?
Wayne, 400.
Yep.
All right, that's
oh my
okay.
gosh, Wayne.
Way to go, Wayne.
Good job.
Very good.
Hey, you don't get to be a publisher without knowing something.
I
So,
love it.
guys, Wayne gets that whole pizza to himself.
No, it's John's Championship Pizza. I'll share it. Good job, guys.
Yeah,
Way to
very
beat up on somebody.
And that, of course, is brought to us by one of our sponsors, too, which is Longboard's Tiki Bar.
Yes,
and
Longboard's
Grill.
Tiki Beach Grill. Check them out, guys. Every weekend they got live music. They got an awesome, huge deck that you can go and enjoy. Beautiful bar, beautiful food. Awesome. We really appreciate having them as a sponsor. And again, it's a great way to, when you come right off the beach, you come over that little walkway there, and boom, a lot of food, a lot of fun. Check them out, Longboard Tiki Beach Grill.
And not only that, they have that beautiful thatched bar that's right there on the deck.
Tiki
and
Hut
then,
Bar, my favorite.
Absolutely. Well, you know that's your favorite. And then as you walk down towards the beach, they have the little mini bar that's
Which is
also covered
awesome.
so that you can actually sit at the bar and you can look at everybody on the beach. Everybody likes to watch the girls go by. And in my case, watch the guys go by. But it's interesting. But anyway, it's a great location. And you can go to their website, which is longboardtiki.com.
Awesome.
And you can check out their pictures. And the thing that I do love, and I always have to say, is that at night when you're sitting around those little couches or with the fire pits going, having a glass of wine, great location. Great location. And we hope to see you there.
You smell that pizza?
Man,
I
this
do
pizza
smell that
smells
pizza.
Boy, I
absolutely
can't wait to
incredible.
get
You
it
see it
then.
on camera?
Phil's
gonna
ready
move one of the
to
cameras
Phil's
here.
ready to move over and walk and get himself a
It
pizza.
looks
Pizza.
absolutely fantastic. Pepperoni pizza. I don't know how many inch pie this thing is, but definitely enough to feed the family for sure. And it smells incredible. I'll get some. I'm not usually one to serve. I usually just
So you really don't
feed
even
myself.
have to leave this hotel if you,
You
want
don't.
pizza.
Don't.
No.
You know, you can eat pizza, drink beer, have a cocktail. You know, it lays
Wow.
around the pool till 11 o'clock at night. you
Yeah,
know?
pizza places do very well
Yeah.
with hotels
Hotels,
because
right.
they deliver, but now they don't have
pass it
to
on
here
maybe
because
later on.
you've
It's
got
right
it right
here.
here.
It's right here.
Love it.
and our
It's right
families
here.
love
Oh
it.
boy, thank
You
you.
could be lazy and eat here and get in the lazy river and have cold drinks. And I mean, what else is
Thank
there?
you. Sounds like a
Heck,
deal.
Yes.
I
You guys go ahead. I'll slice this up as you continue over there.
I love it. So let's talk to you too about volunteers. You have a lot of volunteer people that assist you with this because those are major events that you put on. So I know you have a staff or whatever that helps, but you also have a lot of volunteers.
Yeah, that's right, Bonnie. And Michelle touched on it. Her staff here helped us out with the water stop, and Depending on the size of the race, I need anywhere from 60 to 350 volunteers.
Wow.
Depending on what we're doing. In fact, the Cocoa Beach race that Michelle helped with, I think that's around 200 volunteers. And COVID has really put a hurting on it. And in fact, I couldn't even, just like employees we're all used to,
Right.
I couldn't even find paid volunteers. I'm offering, groups $500 if they give me at least 15 people, and I couldn't fill races like that. Wow. So they're critical. In fact, the last few races I did, we just left water bottles out on tables and told athletes to scrap them and don't throw the lids on the ground.
Wow.
We just couldn't staff them. But yeah, it's a big part, but it's coming back. I understand we're in pretty good shape already for Cocoa Beach and the Melbourne race in February. And our website is smoothrunning.org or runcocobeach.com or
Nice.
the floridamarathon.com. We take entries through all of those. And I do 4 events in Cocoa Beach, so you can volunteer for any of those races through that site.
Good. And your smooth running used to be something else, I think. Didn't we used to go someplace else, and now it's not?
It used to be called Board Sports Management.
Okay.
And then as I transitioned a lot more into endurance stuff and running, we just changed the name over to Smooth Running is what we
Okay,
did.
so smoothrunning.org.
Org.
Okay.
Smoothrunning.org.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
This pizza's real smooth. I got to tell you, it's fantastic. Good taste right there, Dad?
Man,
Looks
excellent.
delicious.
Hits the spot.
Now, this isn't frozen dough. This you guys make this fresh.
Yes, we make
Wow.
this fresh.
Dad knows a thing or two about fresh
yeah.
pizza. He made a lot of pizzas back in the day there. So this is excellent. Again, great food right here, and we're looking at a pool. I mean, what a great setup you have there, Michelle.
It's
Honestly.
like a lime and pineapple.
We're
out
going.
by the
Stand
pool.
by.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So smoothrunning.org is something that I didn't know about. But guys, I think it's time that we learn a little bit more.
Yes.
The 3 things that you didn't know about Mr. Mitch Varnes.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
3 things you need to
don't
know.
know.
Give us 3 things, maybe off the cuff here, about yourself or your events that people may
gosh.
not know that should know.
Where are my cheat sheets? I think we've talked about a bunch of them. What did I tell you, Bonnie?
Well,
Remember?
I mean,
Have you ever ran a marathon?
I have run 6 marathons, including the Boston Marathon twice.
Really?
I've done probably 10 triathlons. I'm dropping 15 pounds in the next 2 months.
wow.
I'm going to do the Malibu Triathlon
How's
again in
some pizza?
California. Don't tell anybody. But native Floridian. I'm pretty proud of that. All my NASA career, I'm really pleased with, and it's a bit of blessed life, I'll say. And I don't know what 3 things I haven't really already talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Super Bowl one was just
Yeah,
mind blowing to
that's-
me.
Yeah.
Going to the Super Bowl with an astronaut. I mean, I've heard about lunch with an astronaut, but going to the Super Bowl with an astronaut, that's a whole other level.
Do you remember which Super Bowl it was?
It was the one with the Bengals and the 49ers. Joe
Bungles.
Montana was there. Montana. And
The Niners won it?
it was just amazing. Billy Joel sang the national anthem.
Wonderful.
And we were in a box with Christy Brinkley and Billy Joel.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
And Wellington Mara's box. He owned the New York Giants at the time.
The
Got
owner.
to know his wife fairly well. Her name was Ann. Actually hung out with her because everybody else was around the astronauts, and so she kind of just hung out with the kid. And went to the Fiesta Bowl with astronauts too, National Championship Fiesta Bowl.
Wow, man.
The Tennessee won it that year, and just lots of really fun stuff.
How long you been surfing?
I've been surfing since I was about 12, so let's call it about 46 years, 47
Wow,
years,
man.
something like that.
That's
So you graduated here.
I
Or
gradu-
did you graduate from Cocoa Beach High? Or?
Actually, I went to Satellite High.
Okay.
And my dad, again, so I was born at Patrick. I graduated from, this is something nobody knows. I graduated from high school in Anchorage, Alaska.
Really?
And
Say
my-
what?
Yeah, what?
Such extremes.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
His
Guy
dad
gets
was
around.
in the Air Force.
Yeah, and he spent 17 of his 21 years here at Patrick, which is unheard of. And when I was in 11th grade, and you're talking about a guy who was passionate about surfing, he gets stationed at Elmendorf Air Force Base in Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, but anyway, that's where I graduated from high school.
How about that?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So as a fat guy, how hard is it to train for a marathon, let alone a triathlon? Like that's got to be more than just physical. How do you even begin to even?
Mental is a big part
Start
of it, I
doing
think,
that.
too.
Mental's a big part of the marathon, but triathlon, you could do one in 2 months. If you can swim, you can do it.
Really?
Yeah, seriously.
There's hope for us, Phil.
See, our Cocoa Beach Triathlon that we've been doing here for
Is there pizza at the
13
end?
years.
Yes,
There
lots.
is pizza at the
Pizza
end.
at Hotel
Yes.
Suites Pizza. That's awesome.
We have beer and pizza at the end.
I love it.
But
That's our new radio
that
show.
triathlon sells out every year, and it's a quarter-mile swim in the Banana River, flat. 12-mile bike on A1A, flat. And then I rent the whole Cocoa Beach golf course for the morning and a 5K run on the Cocoa Beach golf course.
On the golf course.
Yeah, on
You
the
have to wear
cart
golf
path.
shoes?
Wow.
That would be a good thing. I'm golf shoe division. I should create that.
Right?
Yeah.
Self-sponsor of it, sponsorship of it to FootJoy or somebody like that.
That's a good
There you
idea.
go.
But no, I mean it's a beautiful course all the way around, and being able to run on that golf course with no golfers out there worrying about getting in the head by balls and just
Right.
being out at 8 in the morning on the run, it's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, that's unique. That's not something you get to do every day.
Yeah, it's not cheap to take down the golf course, but I own it for one morning.
Look at you.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And the city of Cocoa Beach is so proud to be hosting that there as well.
Yeah, you know what?
It's a long way for them.
I do events all over, and I have done events in many places, and they hear this from me all the time. In fact, I tell Police Chief Scott Rosenfeld I should live in Cocoa Beach, but I live in Satellite Beach. But this is the best town to do events in the county.
They're very accommodating.
They get it, and not that anybody else doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I have great relationships with everybody else, but when maybe I'm a little too snug with Cocoa Beach, I don't know, but we've been working together for so long that everything is just smooth running.
Smooth running.
Smooth.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
It's almost like he planned that.
This is a very punful podcast this week.
So if people are interested then in joining any of your races or whatever, they can go to smoothrunning.org and register and sign up.
Yes, ma'am.
I know I've been on the site, some great pictures and great information, so that's great. And we want to thank you so much for all that you do. You are a community-minded guy and a partner with all of us.
You know what? I want to interject
Yes,
here.
you can.
I want to interject right here. As somebody like myself and my son John, we're being serious now for a minute. We're stakeholders in the tourism scene here. It's very important to us, obviously, as publishers of the Space Coast Fun Guide and spacecoastfunguide.com. And we are indebted to you.
Thanks.
Not only for all the events that you have put on, but the manner in which you have put them on. You have exemplified what this area of the Space Coast is all about. And you have brought so many people here with so many positive comments about our market. We're just so grateful to you. I don't know, I don't have the words to explain to you how grateful we are for everything that you've done.
God, that's so nice. Thanks, Wayne. I mean, like I said, I was born here. I love this place. We all love this place.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I mean,
Very nice.
it's my livelihood, but man, I'm all about the Space Coast and what we do here.
So I just need to share something that just happened that you just reminded me of something. I was on Facebook last night, and there's a site there about this beauty whatever, some kind of beauty cream or whatever. And the girl that was saying buy this stuff because it's really good, she was wearing a Cocoa Beach, Florida shirt.
Okay.
So I thought, well, this is interesting. She must live on Cocoa Beach. So I Googled her name. I put her name on Facebook to see, and she popped up. And she lives in Michigan. Okay. And so I was interested because she had a Cocoa Beach shirt on. So I did write to her and messaged her and just said something to the effect of, I'm from Cocoa Beach. I saw that you were wearing a Cocoa Beach, Florida shirt. Thank you for promoting Cocoa Beach. But were you here? What was in? And she was on. She came here and was involved in one of the runs. So she bought the shirt, believe it or not, at Ron John Surshot, and was that's
nice,
so she
yeah.
gave me that story. So I did anyway. I just
That's
thought that
awesome.
was pretty
Yep.
nice.
Yep.
Pretty nice.
This, and along the same lines as people email me all the time and say, God, we love this area. We never knew about it. But this is just kind of a funny story. There's a lady named Colleen DeRook. She's from South Africa, living in Boulder, Colorado. She's a 4-time Olympian. She's little past her prime right now. I think Colleen's probably in her early to mid 50s, something like that. But she came and ran the Florida Marathon, half marathon, one year. She's pretty famous at that time. I'm talking 10 years ago.
Right.
And she came up to me and said, this place is great. I've never heard of it, and I want to come back on vacation. I'm like, okay, great. And I didn't think anything of it. Here's a girl that's been all over the world in the Olympics and lives in Boulder, Colorado, right?
Right.
Place.
I get a call 6 months later. Hey, Mitch, this is Colleen. What should I be doing? And I'm like,
Huh?
Colleen who? And then I'm like, oh.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's really cool to be able to do this.
That is so cool. I love it.
I think it's again, you never know what makes a long-lasting effect. I mean, just like the gentleman there from Jersey Mike's, you're saying that he became a major, I guess we'll say partner, sponsor of the event because he was at a Special Olympics when he was in school. So that made an effect on him all these years. I mean, you never know what it's going to be. So like my father said, we really appreciate you doing things like this because some people look at this as, oh, well, they came here once, they'll never come again. No, these are people that come here for life because of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
these
I think-
events are very, very important, not only for what they do and for the people who achieve things, but it speaks volumes about this area and all the different amenities that we have.
Really do.
And then when they get down here, and it's a party atmosphere. There's nothing but fun associated with all this.
Right.
And you're a big part of that, and we thank you, Mitch.
And we
Consider
had
you
fun.
part of
We
our
had-
economic driver for us.
Absolutely. And we had
Definitely.
Paul from USSSA on, and we were talking about how sporting events and how it's good for kids and how it builds their self-esteem and confidence and how it's a family thing when they all come down here together. So you help do that as well. So we really, really appreciate that and appreciate everything you do. And we're so glad that you were here.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Thank
So
you.
now, next week, let's talk about what's going to happen next week. Well, everybody else has been on vacation, so I guess I need to leave and go on vacation. So
We'll miss you, Bonnie.
I know, so I'm going to head out. But next week, Sherry McCoy, the co-owner of Wild Ocean Seafood Market, and Cynthia Sandoval, who's the marketing and outreach person for Wild Ocean Seafood, they're going to be discussing the shrimping industry and what comes through their docks. And they're going to talk about anything from a 10-pound Florida lobster to roe mullet, delicious recipes, and of course the ecotourism of what the lagoon is like, and the Indian River, Banana River, etc. So I think it's going to be an interesting conversation, and you guys will probably get to eat some fantastic shrimp.
Awesome.
Mullet,
I will miss.
mullet row, you said?
Roe mullet is what she said. Roe mullet, whatever that is.
Oh, I
don't
thought
know
you were
what it-
talking about John. I'm sorry.
John had a mullet.
Bad.
I never rocked the mullet, but maybe I'll do it just for the show. I'm gonna go get a haircut.
It'll be nice. But
So you mean John and I have to host this show without you?
absolutely.
Oh, this is going to be scream.
Oh, this will be fun. Make sure you tune in, guys.
Meet John and Phil.
That's it.
It'll be good. You guys will have fun. Michelle, thank you for being here
Oh,
again
my
and,
pleasure.
and hosting us here and giving all this fabulous food. And we look forward to what's happening. I'm going to go forward and have a very nice vacation, and I will see you soon. But you
Enjoy.
guys have a great time, and we will see you next week.
Thanks
That's
for
a wrap.
having me.
That's it. Thank you.
Oh,